Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Tuesday. I said Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. Happy Tuesday. The starting screen didn't last forever. Yay. What the fuck is with people's problem with starting screens? I feel like every couple of months someone bitches about something that streamers do and then the world's like, "Yeah, I hate that thing streamers do." Bitch, the fuck? It's been forever. We've been doing this forever. What? Why? I just don't. People, yeah, if you don't like a start, then don't sit and stare at the fucking starting screen. You know what I'm saying? What up, Sin? How are you, by the way? I know. I mean, people will bitch about literally anything. As a consumer of Twitch, love a starting screen because it gives me some minutes to actually get into the stream and hang out. Literally, it just keeps happening. No shit, Sleaze, you're totally right. It's constant. Every couple of months, they bitch about something we do, and I'm like, okay, so don't watch it. Like, don't come here if that bothers you. I don't know what to do. Man, it's just like, what do you want? What do you want? It is. It's literally what this, though, that I just heard about. That apparently answering a text with a thumbs up is bad now. What is that? What's that? Why? Why? Isn't this just an affirmative? I'm not kidding. Yes, people are like offended. I don't. The world is so weird. Somebody think of the children! I know, right? God forbid a starting screen. My fucking God. People just like to, wait, people, just like people who complain that streamers aren't playing a game they don't like, okay, just watch, literally. Like, there's so many streamers out there doing something right now. Probably one of them's doing something you'll like. Why bitch about something you don't like when no one's forcing you? It's literally, Allie. Yes. By the way, I tried to go ship your headphones yesterday and they closed our post office. So I'm going to try to do that today after work. It's funny, but it's not. I know. And remember last year, like a year ago, they fucking were remodeling the whole thing for like weeks? Yeah, they just closed. They're just done. They're just closed now. I know. I know. What the fuck? I answer just about every message I get at work with Slack. Dude, I'm a big proponent of this because all this just means I acknowledge your message and I have nothing to add to it. Why is that offensive? This is me respecting your time and not wasting it. That's this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I don't have anything to add to what you've said, but I'm acknowledging that I read what you said, right? According to Google, it's now seen as rude, hostile, and passive aggressive. I mean, wasn't it last year they tried to take A-OK from us? Wasn't it some people were saying like being like, okay, was fuck something? They made it what was it? Good morning, October. It was something. They did something. Shit, I've used it at least 4 times since starting work this AM. Hell yes. It comes off as passive aggressive to me personally, not saying you're meaning it that way, but to my ADHD brain, I just don't vibe with it. I 100% understand. It's weird, like, I don't know how I would approach that. I seriously, like 9 times out of 10, I don't have anything to add to a message, but I want someone to know I read it. I don't, what else do you, what else is okay? It validates, like, oh, you're not wrong. God forbid someone goes, "Kay, I know." That's what I'm saying. I'm not shitting you, Ali. That's exactly what people, I mean, it's like a big thing right now, and I don't know why. It's so weird. Good morning, Hatari, or evening, or whatever. Time zones to you. Yeah, they made the AOK symbol like a hate symbol or something. Yeah, okay to white power. And then they tried like some fucking Proud Boys tried to take Nordic symbols and make that racist. I mean, god damn it. Get a hobby, for fuck's sake. Good morning, Prime. Some of us need more than simple acknowledgement or we flip out. It doesn't make sense, but that's how it is. 100%. How would you communicate that? That's what I was trying to think. Like, how would, like, because I don't ever want anyone to feel disacknowledged or brushed off or shitty because I did this. How would you approach that like, would you prefer me being like, I have nothing else to add? Or like, word? Or like, what else can I do that's not a brush off and offensive but doesn't waste either of our time because I literally have nothing to say? Genuine question, not trying to be a smartass. Kate, I literally hate texting. I hate typing, I hate texting, I hate all of it. So when I do it minimally. And I truly, like, how do you approach that situation? No shit. So literally okay, no shit, sleaze. If someone wrote, I have nothing else to add, I would take that as rude and passive aggressive and I would think they hate me. I'd be like, oh my God, they hate me and I said something wrong. Is that weird? How fucked up is that? We're all so fucked up, myself included. So much. Good morning, Mel. Like, that would send me into a panic. Because that feels, I don't know, I would feel rude, and I don't ever want to be rude. Like, I don't want to be. I don't want to, like, stand by my, like, I'm going to keep doing this regardless of how it makes you feel. I'd like us to come to I don't want to respond, but you need a response to feel good. How do we meet in the middle? I think that's appropriate. Like, how else do you do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have nothing else to add almost feels like we need to talk later. To me, personally. I text like a 16-year-old girl. What does that mean? How do they text? Emojis, I feel like emojis are open-ended interpretation. If someone sends an emoji, just like, whatever you feel it is, I guess. I've literally asked, like, when people send me emoji, I'm like, what the fuck did that mean? What was that? It's our need for acknowledgement and affirmation, I think. Like, we need to know that everything's okay, 100%. And I identify with that. But the statement, like, I have nothing else to add, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Messaging sucks because it's like there's no intonation and you really, like, I depend on facial expressions and body language a lot to get the full communication out of somebody. And when it comes to text and stuff, I just try to keep it as minimal as possible because none of that's there. And you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want anyone to think that I don't care. Exactly. Thumbs up isn't rude, though. They're basically saying they don't want you to use the word. The? What? I use a lot of emojis. I mean, I respond in emojis constantly because I don't have anything to say. Like, someone might text me something and I literally just laugh at it and I have nothing to say, so I send a laugh emoji. But if that makes people anxious, I don't want to be that dick. One of my friends sends me voice messages instead of calling or text. I totally understand that. I have an aunt who texts, like, with her voice, and it's horrible. Like, she talks to her phone and it writes the text, and it's terrible. Yeah, Prime, 100%. Yeah, what's the word? Think Valley Girls when you think ClassyKatie. That's a typical... I haven't hung around a teenager in so long, I really have no clue how they talk. Or text. I'm not saying you guys, like, a lot of you have kids, so you might be able to identify. I don't know how they talk. Do they talk different? Is it bad? They have, oh, wait. Oh, the word, not the word. I was like, what's the word? Wow, okay. It's so weird. The internet's such a weird thing because it's like people just have this platform to pick each other apart constantly. And I see these memes all the time about millennial shit. And like generations are just made up bullshit at the end of the day. We all know that. We're friends across generations all the time. But like, I don't understand it. Get a hobby. Learn to sew for fuck's sake. I don't know. Get some wood, whittle something. I'm 35 in a few weeks. I don't need to study the mind of youngins. Yeah, I just don't. I have no idea. Burb is the word. You put a bird on it, but that might be not okay now. I still have a lump in my throat and it's killing me. I'm guaranteeing it's the fucking weather. Also, this song is fire. What day of the week is it? Is it Friday? Oh my god, it's not Friday. Why are you giving me music? I'll play it because I love you, but stop. I'm just kidding. There's no video. What am I doing? There's not a video. I don't know what I'm doing. I was trying to set it up like a moron. Hold on. Pause, Hyperlandia. Rod said this song's fire. Happy Taco Tuesday. Praise Taco. Yeah. 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 Is that how teenagers text? Yeah. Yeah. I like the crunch. I can't hear the words at all, though. Are they British? Oh, they're Indian. Yeah, I cannot understand a fucking word they're saying, but the crunch of the music's cool. The music's good, but it's not good enough to win me because I cannot understand anything they're saying. Ashes. Done. Ask. I can't understand a fucking word they're saying. Otherwise, I might be into it. I like the crunch. But it kind of sounds like mumble rap, Rod. Is this mumble rap?
Now, I'm going to
I'm desperately trying to hear the words. Sorry. I'm just turning my volume up.
Cock.
It sounds like a mumbling like this. This is kind of how the kind of rap sounds, bitch. We're gonna rap, we're gonna moan into the mic, and we're gonna get real close, cause that's how you fucking do the mic. And you're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that.
That's all I fucking hear. I know. It's a pet peeve of mine, but if I have to read the lyrics just to get literally any words out of a song, it's really hard to enjoy. I can't understand them. I'm trying. It's so mumbly. I'm trying. The crunch is good, but seriously, the one genre of music I've never been able to find anything I like in is fucking mumble rap because I can't understand more than 5 words without reading the lyrics. I don't want to read a book when I listen to music. At least not, most of the time. The beat is sick, though. No, I don't hate this at all. I just really fucking can't understand it.
And now we're gonna bubble with a fucking nirvana. I'm gonna put a voice mod on my voice and I'm gonna bubble to the crunch, crunch, bitch slay, motherfucker, yeah. What you gonna do next? Gonna fuck a bitch, gonna fuck a bitch, gonna fuck a bitch, what? You know what I'm saying?
I can do that too. It's not bad. I just have to go figure out the lyrics. I can't understand it. It sounds good. I was totally kidding about the money on the bitches, but...
Money on my mind, we gon' run it up. I don't get it. I don't understand mumble rap. It's me! It's me! Oh, did I just play this?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only words in the whole song I could understand. I'm so sorry. I want to like it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a change of mood. I love Rap Rod. You know me, dude. I'm not a rap hater at all. But like I couldn't understand. It's so fucking mumbly. And I know I've watched mumble rappers' music videos. They're rapping like this. And then a fucking bitch and then the Abercrombie and Fitch and then we fucked on that niche and then hell and bitch and fucking money and the bitch and the fucking just don't understand. It's me. Maybe I'm old. Did I old out of mumble rap? Tomorrowland sets? What is that? What up, Drew? Good morning. Katie out here singing the lyrics at 80% around.
I'm gonna take you to the candy shop. I'm gonna let you suck my lollipop. I can do it. I can rap. Let's fucking go.
I saved it because I'm going to go look up the lyrics. I trust you. Rod has good taste in music, but man, I just don't. The mumbling. What is it? Why? Oh, I was thinking Disney. When you said Tomorrowland, I'm no shit. I was thinking Disney. I was like, oh, you're just like watching CCTV of Disney? I'm sorry, BDO. I really need to give you more credit than that. That's fucking beautiful. I did a bunch of Burning Man prep yesterday. That was yesterday, going out and getting all the little stuff for Burning Man. Fucking A, dude. We ended up going to a thrift store and getting some thrifting. I thrift almost everything ever. I love to thrift. But I was talking to the cashier there, and the thrift store was cash only, which is kind of weird and a pain in the dick. But she was telling me that people literally throw things at her face because of said fact. Like, when people get up to the register and she's like, I'm sorry, we're cash only, but there's an ATM right over there. They will collect, like, she told me shoes have been thrown at her face. Because people are so upset they can't use their credit card. That's what Drew, I said I would have flown over the fucking counter. I've had some horrible service, like interactions when I worked as a clerk. But, like, man, have I never had someone throw something at my fucking face? Oh, I would have flipped. And then the customer picked up their child and used their child as a shield from security. Dude, right? And if you don't have cash, maybe you shouldn't be buying stuff. Maybe. I mean, it might be an emergency, but like maybe. Right, I know. The stream card only wears my... I've only got a slide. It's really not going to do much. Humans baffle me. I have been irate in a store before, and I've never in my life thought to treat another human being horribly because of said incident. It's not even I just don't. People that lash out at other people, what kind of backwards ass society uses cash? I'd be throwing shit too at the cashier who makes minimum wage. No, you wouldn't. Don't lie. You're too nice. You would never. That was a beautiful song, by the way. Not that I hated the other song. I just couldn't fucking stand it. And I would like to. You know what I'm saying? I loaded a bowl. Cheers. Right, Trouble. The only time I can think of emergency thrift store shopping is that, like, you have a job interview and you need an outfit. Or something like that, right? Because I can understand if you have I've been there, you know, like you're getting a job because you don't have any money. But to get the job, you have to dress nice for the interview. I can Dude, loadable, are you kidding me? It's 9:30 in the morning. What are you doing? What are you doing if you're not loading a bowl at 9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday? The same beat, does it? I can hear that, yeah. Don't snap. Oh my god, has someone snapped their fingers at you, Bobo? Shut the fuck up. Bobo, I'm gonna be honest, I'd pay money to see you rage out on somebody. I'd watch that. Right, Robo? I mean, seriously, if someone snapped at Bobo, I'd watch that. Final Fantasy 14? 14 has a Gongcha, a Boba Tea crossover for in-game mount. What? Wait. And a real-life keychain. When I went to get a voucher for the mount, the girl looked so scared because they didn't have any keychains left. And me, I'm like, oh, I don't care about that. I just want the mount. Oh, bless. Oh my god, can you imagine? She's probably had some people be very angry and mean. That was probably legitimate fear. I black out anger, so I don't like to. Oh, well, I can see that. I mean, just the idea of you flying over a counter at someone snapping at you is pure fucking unadulterated comedy, but I can understand that you wouldn't want to black out angry. David, I'm not kidding you. When Zach and I left that thrift store, that's exactly what he said. He was like, that place is fucking money laundering. What enormous establishment is cash only? Literally the first thing he said. I know nothing about money laundering, but I wouldn't doubt it because it's a big store that was cash only. It was very interesting. Dude, Queens, cheers, honeybean. That's the one reason I like my phone customer service job. I can hang up if they get too feisty. Good. I mean, I've told you guys. Wait, does your Goodwill sell cocaine? I wouldn't doubt it. Oh my god, I love that alley. That's the best. Cashiers and waiters, etc., should be allowed to beat up like a couple customers a week, 100%. Or they should just like some sort of retribution, because they get just treated like crap. I can't get this one thing I'll never use or look at and probably don't need at all, and I shouldn't have been here in the first place. I'm going to throw it at your face. Okay. Like that, the jump in their brains doesn't make sense to me. Like anger to lash out at innocent human. At McDonald's, they snapped for my attention. Oh, I don't know what I would do. And I was like, hey, fellow coworker, can you take care of them before I flip my lid? That's horrible. No shit, you couldn't hang up ever? Fuck that, dude. We had to do cash only one night at McDonald's because I had to shut the system down every night to restart it. People got so mad. Oh, I don't doubt it. Cash only could be due to a lot of things like small businesses. See, I just figure, I mean, I don't know, but I assumed it's probably a case of just like they're raking it in. If you think about it, they rent out a space and 100% of their inventory is donated. And if they have no credit card machines and they don't own the ATMs, those are an outside, like a rental or whatever, they have zero overhead other than paying their employees. Right? Like the owner of this place has got to be raking it in. Because it costs money. Like every time you run a credit card, it charges the company like a cent or so, like 50 cents or whatever to charge your card. They have nothing. Yeah, that was my theory. It was kind of smart. Because it's like still a really good thrift store, but it tends to be a lot cheaper than the other thrift stores because of this. So, I mean, I can't throw things at folks' faces. I mean, not innocent cashiers, and not unless they deserve it. which is, I don't even know you can't generalize that one. I assume lots of cash only places are cheating on taxes. You think so? Dude, Drew, can you imagine? I don't think there's anywhere else that takes half of their partner's income. I try to sell jewelry, no bites, but when I go to vendor shows, I know vendor people get in such a stiff about cards. I don't know why people don't have PayPal or any of those. There's so many different little services on your phone you can use. What's the other one? Venmo or something? And then there's a couple. I used to have them to buy drugs. Like weed. But Veli or whatever. Yep, that was another one. Yeah. It's why lots of smaller stores have a minimum car spend, though it's rare now. I've absolutely seen that before, yeah. Very hard to figure out how much is going in and out. Sounds like laundering to me. I'm saying, like, you technically don't have an inventory because you don't buy your inventory, so you could be getting away with a lot of shit, right? Just, not that I'm saying they are, but, like, I just wanted to take his face and smash it on the counter, so I had to run to the back because it made me so furious. I can't believe someone snapped at you. People just think they can treat anyone how they wish in customer service. Never again. No, absolutely not. People take that saying, the customer's always right. They interpret that wrong. The customer's always right does not mean just because you're a customer, everything out of your mouth is correct. It means whatever you run out of first in the store is what customers like and what they want. Therefore, replace those things and stop stocking things people aren't buying. That's what the actual statement of the customer's always right, came from. But people took that and they're like, no, it means I can abuse cashiers. Okay. I work in a building downtown in Montreal where business rent must be in the 5 digits monthly. Jesus. For over 30 years, there's this obscure, cheap souvenir shop close by where we never saw a single customer go in. Obvious money laundering. How can they not get caught is beyond me. I mean, if you think about it, they're probably not bringing in enough income as a little hobby shop or whatever to be on anyone's radar, right? Like, isn't that why people oftentimes use, like, an actual laundry to launder their money? Like, places that really aren't making a lot of money, so they're not on the radar. Customer's always an asshole. I mean, God, I try not to be. I so try not to be. The customer's wallet is always right. Exactly. That's a way better way of putting it, Drew. Yes. It's one of those phrases that got shortened. Yeah. And I remember my bosses saying that to us, though. Like, working at Lowe's, I've told you these stories a million times. I'm not going to fucking be a broken record. But I would have cashiers being borderline abused, verbally or otherwise, by customers. And I would go to one of my higher-ups and be like, I can't get rid of this person. And they are just berating one of the cashiers. And they would come out and take that customer to lunch. Because we must have done something. Because the customer's always right. That's how we were treated. And it was fucked up. We talking about the dusty shelves, meaning you get other things there. We're talking about just basically customers treating clerks like trash, service people like trash, for lack of a better word. Like laundromats, that's where it came from, right? Laundering money. Oh, that's what someone earlier said too. The full phrase is, the customer is always right in matters of taste. Interesting. They changed it from that. That's fucked up. They've been selling fake bags on Canal Street in New York for years. They probably just don't want to spend the time to prosecute these people. They wouldn't get anything. Like, those people don't have enough money. So, like, if you prosecute someone who is poor for billions of dollars, you're not going to get that. You're just going to have to pay all those fees to go to court and have a lawyer. They're going to go after big companies, money laundering and shit, people that can pay out. Like, that's money's the end of the day. They don't really care if you're doing the right thing or not. They just care whether or not they can get a buck out of you. Pat, though, like, talking to my mom and my aunts, it's never been good. Like, honestly, it's gotten better-ish, but not much. But, like, the stories from when my mom was younger and the shit she had to put up with, like, it almost sounded like she was, like, a waitress at Hooters. Like, that's how nursing was treated in, like, the 70s. Like, if a patient grabs your ass, smacks your ass, or tries to sell you to their son, or tries to buy you for their son, then you just have to put up with that. Like, that was just, keep the patient comfortable. I'm sorry. I don't care where you are in the world. You touch my ass without permission and we're having words. Period. But shit, like, and again, that's literally from a female perspective. I can't speak to anything else, but like, she worked 40 years being sexually assaulted, basically. The biggest difference now is doctors stopped pinching asses, according to my aunts and my mom. Like, that's the biggest difference, is the staff no longer sexually harasses them as much. Which is really fucked up. I mean, David, it's like I don't, again, shocker, I have never laundered money, but I think you're correct. It's like they're washing the money, right? That's why it's money laundering. They're washing it by filtering it into a business and getting it back out into the world and basically replacing it with the money people are using at the business. So then the serial numbers that you stole or whatever are now out in the world and they're not with you anymore. So it's something. I watched a thing about it one time, and it was like a like a Vice documentary or something. It was really confusing. When I used to work at Michael's, it was like my first few months. Some guy screamed in my face because his Purolator package wasn't there yet. Because that's going to help the situation. He was very tall. I'm 4'11", so I'm standing there behind the counter while this guy is screaming, "Why isn't it here yet? Don't you know how to do your job, you moron?" Okay. If that ever happens again, not that I'm saying it will, be like, one moment, go grab your purse and be like, "Okay, I'm going to go find it." And just go. And when your boss asks, "Where the fuck did you go?" be like, "Check the cameras. That customer was about to eat my face if I didn't find their package, so I went to fucking find it. Money, please!" I would, because fuck that. That's insane. What human being treats another human being like that? Some people never figure out that treating your workers nicely will get you better service. Sugar is always better than salt. Always. Always, always, always. And I mean, I've said it a million times, and again, broken record. The cashier in a store is most likely, most definitely the least paid and least educated person in the store about what's on the floor. Because their job is to deal with money. Period. They watch that register, make sure no one steals it, and they cash people out. That's their job. But like 9 times out of 10, they're the person that's going to get the unleash because they're the last face someone sees on their way out of the store. And I used to see it all the fucking time. It's disgusting. People walk around the store getting mad, and then on their way out, they see an innocent person. They're like, "That's the target. That's the one that gets my rage for the store." And you're, what the fuck is wrong with you? Where's your mother? Wait, story. Old man almost got canceled during physical therapy. He said, "I'd pay $40 a week for this massage." Wait, therapist was massaging his butt? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's not it. You never actually washed your clothes and found money in the pockets after? I definitely have, but very rarely. I do not carry cash. I've done that. The offender actually left. Seriously, good. I teach an online course that'll teach you how to launder money, only $2.59. It's also an NFT. So they report income from their criminal activities as legit cash income for laundry or whatever so they can invest it. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Sounds like when I worked at Walmart, my first day as a cashier back in college, some old fuck straight said, quote, "You can at least pretend to know what you're doing while I'm here." I don't know what to do. You would prefer me to lie? So, it's funny you say that. When I worked at Lowe's, I'm sure everyone's been in a Lowe's or Home Depot or something if you're in the US. If you're not, it's essentially an enormous warehouse of construction goods. And they're all laid out relatively similar, but sometimes they're flipped, they're like mirrored. But essentially, at one end of the store, you're going to have an entrance that enters into like aisle 1, hardware. Aisle 1 through 5 is hardware, and then 6 through 9 is going to be paint and spray paint and tape. And then it's sick that I still remember this because I haven't worked there in like 10 years. Anyways, right in front of hardware, like the key cutting desk, is right where our fucking customer service desk was, which was a pain in the ass because we don't pay someone to just sit and wait at the key cutting desk. So if anybody wanted a key cut, they would literally just turn around and see that poor customer service person and go, "Can you cut me a key?" And we'd be like, "Sorry, we're not physically allowed to walk 3 feet your direction to cut that key because there's a register full of cash right here and the cash office is right behind me. Please no." And then they'd get mad and they'd berate us. But the customer service desk was right next to the front door. I'm trying to remember the order of operations in my head. So aisle 1, right? That's where hardware was. Aisle 1, hardware, and then it went into paint and everything. And the store is so big that it goes all the way to aisle 23. And that's lumber. That's like the lumber yard. We had an indoor lumber yard. And so if we worked at customer service and you were a cashier and you didn't know where something was, because inevitably people are going to come to customer service where you're supposed to be able to service a customer, but unfortunately it's just a cashier getting paid minimum wage there, I promise you. It's no one special. And they're going to ask, "Hey, do you know where this 8/19 nipple is? And the matching muff connect as fuck?" And that cashier, who's probably in college for something and is working there part-time, is going to look them in the eye and go, aisle 22. Simply because if we say no, they get mad and they hate us forever and they complain and we get a write-up. But if we send them as far as fuck possible away from us and they don't find what they're looking for, there's another desk down there where they can ask. And then that person will inevitably send them back to aisle 1, and it just goes back and forth. And it's literally a consequence of people being so fucking mean that we've gotten to the point where we just lie to get you the fuck away from us. Go away. You're rude. You're just baseline mean. Shoo. None of them are paid enough to deal with you at all. Yeah, there's a completely separate area for gardening. It's huge. I mean, I don't even think Lowe's has ever made money, but these huge mecha stores, they're quite impressive. Personally, if I can't find something at Lowe's, Home Depot where everything's consolidated, the problem might be you. I'm such an independent person. Like, I just look it up online or something and I find it. I don't know. Once in a while, but I would never think to go to a cashier and ask where something is. But again, that's because I have personal experience working as a cashier, working as a head cashier, working as a manager in one of those stores. And I know the order of operations. You get hired on as a cashier. You don't go from the floor to cashier. You get hired on as a cashier, and then cashiers oftentimes move to the floor and start working in a department eventually if they want to. So if you're coming at a cashier for literally anything, chances are that person's worked there 1 week, and they're going to tell you to go to aisle 22. Stop it. Use your brain. That's not the person. The cashier is not the person. Ever. I'm same. And I mean, Knives, I'm sure you've run into this, but like the amount of times I've gone into a store and had that moment like Ron Burgundy where I'm like, I know more than you. Because it's a minimum wage paid teenager, for fuck's sake. Like, what are we really expecting here? You know? And I don't mean it in a rude way, but it's like, I've gone to a store and been like, hey, like someone approaches you at the front and they're like, "Can I help you find anything?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just looking for XYZ. I know where it is." And they're like, "Oh, okay, I'll walk you there." And they walk you to the wrong aisle. And you're like, "No, I was looking for XYZ. It's right there." And they're like, "Oh, yeah." I know more than you. Oh, God. Yeah, you just let him go. Just let him go. For me, after a few months at Walmart, I was dead inside, so I just said, quote, "I don't know," and let him yell and just tune it out since I was still getting, yeah, I had some people that do that. Not everyone can do that, though. I literally had a lot of cashiers that would break down crying because people were abusive. I mean, verbally, fucking horrifically abusive to cashiers. It was crazy. The paint counter is your best bet, honestly, because that's the most active counter in the entire store. Honestly, if you want real help, this is just insider knowledge. If you want real help in a Home Depot or a Lowe's or any kind of giant construction store, go to the pro desk. The desk that's down in lumber that usually has like 4 or 5 retired looking old military men standing behind it. Those fuckers have worked there 15 years in every department ever, and now they get paid more than anyone in the store to sit in a chair and stare at a screen all day. They know everything. And if they don't, they'll walk you there. They'll find it because they don't care. That's where I used to work. I used to work in like a cubicle in that pro desk doing like credit card shit. It was terrible. Those pro guys will know where things are. That is your best bet. Customer service is never your best bet. That's just a cashier. They're there to do massive returns or weird online orders or weird computer stuff. So if you have an issue with a return or like your purchase went through double or something, customer service is your place to go. If you're looking for something, never. 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 Don't do that. Don't do that. There's a reason they try not to make eye contact with you. It's no shit trouble they do, though. I mean, it was actually really fun working in the pro desk. Most of the time, there was one creepy pro guy down there that would constantly try to massage my shoulders. That guy was not okay. But the rest of them were, because they were so knowledgeable. Like, these guys were just, like, older, Hello, there was a puppy behind me. They're just, like, older, retired dudes who just want a job for funsies. But they've lived a life. Like, they've built a house. They've fixed a plumbing system. They've done everything on their own. So not only do they probably know where it is in the store because they've personally had to go buy it and use it, but they have so much knowledge on how to do shit. Like, they're so smart. Just, like, in general, smart about shit. It's wild. That's where to go if you have a real question. But paint desk, if you just need to know where something is, because no shit, there's always someone there. We have to stand by those shakers and be ready for anytime there's an order for paint. Stalkers and vendors are great, too. Vendors, absolutely. There's a reason customer service counters don't have chairs, or if they do, they're bolted down. Yes. Weird computer stuff. That's what I do. I mean, we love weird computer stuff, though. At B. Dalton's, I miss bookstores. When there were still bookstores, women came in and asked, I'm looking for that new Jane Fonda workout book. This was 1983. Yes, mom, Katie, I can read. Yes, ma'am, that's on display in our health and fitness section, 4 aisles down to the right. She stood right where she was, still looking at me. That's it? Nobody can help me? What else are you looking for? That was the most specific directions to what do they need with the workouts? What the fuck? I know my void has come to say hello. How are you, son? Would you like to say good morning? Good morning, Bubba. How are you today? Did you have a good nap? I know, we got up early today. You're sleepy. That's some good dog breath. Yum. Thank you for that. Sweetness. Everyone says good morning. You'll never have any idea how many people love you. But you're a very sweet boy, even though you hide behind my mic. I swear they know where it is. Good morning, by the way, Viata. I talk to vendors at the grocery store because I'm a weirdo and I like to hear what's selling and what's not. Dude, honestly, they probably love that shit. Why not? You're probably the only fucking person that's willing to just have a real conversation with them instead of just using them. My coworker retirement, and 3 months later, he came back to work once a month. He was so happy, brought tools from home to fix up his back room. My mom's doing that. No shit. I know so many people that have retired and then go back like part-time or get a part-time job somewhere just because they're bored. Trick might die for you, I think. He's a loving boy. Thank you. Eat my lotion. Okay. Thank you. Is it poisonous? No one knows. They just love lotion. Lily, right? Rage, that's so good. Trick would die for you. Lilith would kill for you. Did I tell you how we went to the dog park and someone thought, to each their own, right? You get to make your own choice. But dog parks, in most cases, they usually have a big dog park and a small dog park. And this was the time not with Rod, the time I went before Rod came with me. And someone decided to take their chihuahua, like plump little sausage chihuahua, into the big dog park. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this thing was this big. It could barely bark. It was like, ay. That was its bark. And Lilith put her mouth around it. She didn't clamp down. We retreated. But like she did the... And I was like, well, it's time to go. No shit. That's exactly. She was just like, "Oh yeah, you little fuck. You want to try to bark again?" It was amazing. I mean, Drew, hard same. So semi-work related really upset someone a few hours ago. Was getting a few things and overheard someone complaining about our governor due to the recent news saying I lost my job because of him a few years ago because I couldn't go to work unless I took that stupid COVID vax. Yes, but he's the reason you lost your job, not because you refused to spit on a piece of plastic. K. As a healthcare worker, I straight up told them the next time they feel sick, they can also relieve their symptoms by setting themselves on fire. I'm done with those people. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that so spiritually. It's so hard to have any sympathy because you're just like, what the fuck? What? Dude, Equalizer's a pretty good movie. No shit, Lilith. Hush, child, the adults are playing. I know, she did. And it was just the most, like, just put her, I know, the dog, I mean, you guys know how big poodle mouths are. They're skinny, but they're long. That she could have just, like, have you ever seen one of those cute videos where, like, a golden retriever lets a duck, like, goes, bah, and a baby duck falls out of his mouth, and baby duck's like, oink, 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 oink. She could have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all you'd hear is, like, that little from inside her belly, her mouth. But that's why they have a small dog park. Because regardless of how badass your small dog is and how convinced I am that my big dogs are gentle giants, mistakes and horrible accidents happen. And so they make a small dog park on purpose so that no one's dogs are getting hurt. Because Lilith can't swallow a dog her size. But that little fuck, she could have gulped that. Like, it was a moment. It literally grows forever, Drew. It's human hair. It's just like your and I hair. It's really bizarre. So if you don't groom them, it'll end up kind of like a sheep. Like, you know, there was a sheep in the news recently I saw where literally a sheep escaped the farm, and it's some sort of breed of sheep that its wool literally never stops growing. And they found this sheep like 7 years later living in a cave in the mountains, and it looked like a walking used cotton bud. Just like pounds, like I don't even know how many pounds of matted wool. Theirs will do the same. Like, you have to get them groomed every 6 weeks. It just never stops. It's so weird. It's literally human hair, but on every inch of their body. He's just going to sleep in my lap now, so this is where we live now. It takes one untrained dog, one moment. I mean, people get attacked by their own dogs. It happens. I love my babies so much, but you always have to be on the aware. Are greyhounds similar? Yeah. These guys, I swear to God, Mandel, when we shave these guys down, if they don't have their poofs, they look just like a greyhound to me. I have an aunt who used to rescue greyhounds. I don't think she does anymore because she's getting pretty old, but they look just like them. They've got no skull. Like, their head goes straight back from their nose, which is why I think they leave this poof, so that they look like they have a brain. Because they really don't. I used to order the load from my grocery store. I know what sells and what doesn't, even without seeing the stats on the handheld. Dude, that's nice. That's fucking nice, though. Wait. Oh, is this the sheep? Shut the fuck up, Erican. Did you know the one I was talking about? It has a name. They literally named this sheep. Oh my God. Barak, the sheep. Barak. Is it like Barak? Is that it? I mean, if you haven't seen that sheep. Black eye. Yesterday? Look at that shit. I haven't had a black eye since I was 2. The bitch literally, I mean, bless her heart. We were playing, but she did like a pop just with the tip of her fucking feet straight into the corner of my eyeball. No, it's not. I know. I thought about putting makeup on it, but I was like, nah, people are just going to think I'm in an abusive relationship or something. Just punched by baby feet by a stupid poodle. She got my face, too. You see the scratch? The fuck? Best. It's literal. I mean, she does that thing where she tries to crawl up your body. Like, if I'm laying down, like, doing yoga or stretching or something, she tries to crawl up my body like this and then She just has no sense. She has Muppet arms. I swear. She has no sense of where her hands end, which I completely relate to as a dumb, tall, gangly bitch. I get it. And so she's like all excited and just whap, just the tip of her foot with all her power straight into my eyeball. And so now I have a fun black eye. It doesn't hurt though. I literally don't even notice it's there. I just feel, I can see it. It's like, it looks like accidental makeup in the corner of my eyeball. If she told you once, she told you too many times. I mean, I didn't hear it here, so she got me there instead. It's not even a cool scratch. Like, if it was through my eye, it'd be a cool scratch. I'm gonna have the weirdest skin when I'm old. I'm gonna look like I grew up with tigers or something. I was not. Sagittal crest. Is that what that is? Their little wing? Their fin? The sagittal crest. That's fun. I like that. Dude, I mean, how? A little bitch. What a bitch. Sagittal. I like that too. The sagittal crest. Do you need to go outside? Is it already time? What time is it? It's barely an hour. Not even. Do you need to go shit or snuggle again? Stretch? Big stretch. What do you need? Lick me with your dick mouth. That's so their jaw muscles hooked to their skull, really? No shit. I mean, I thought literally, Knives, when it happened, I just closed my eye and sat there for a minute and like registered. And I was like, please, for fuck's sake, don't be my eyeball. Before I opened my eyes. Because man, if I'm so used to it at this point because she's such a like he doesn't have the Muppet paws. You probably can tell when he like gets up on me. He's very graceful. Bill is just like, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't give a fuck. She's never been a graceful bitch by any means. So at this point, like I'm very aware that her paws are coming for my face and I just need to be on guard at all points, at all times. But man, if she would have got my eyeball with her big, nasty claws. I don't want that. Like, goddamn, God forbid a fucking infection. I still have scars on my hands from raising a baby Pit. I still have scars on my arms from Millie. The baby. 1,000 times better than what the horse did you. 100%. I'll take any injury over that. Will I? Will we take any injury? Yeah. Yes. Trick says, don't be a dumb bitch. Of course we would. That was a terrible time. Yes. You're very cute, bud. We'll just have a scratch. We had a dog that would jump his front paws into your arms, which would leave cut marks. Yes, that's Lil. I don't know. He just is like, I don't know what it is, if he has better core strength or something, but he's graceful. Like, he can get up on his back paws, and then he just, like, slowly lowers his paws on your shoulders or something. Her, she uses you to get up. So she's like, bah, 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 bah. You don't hurt me. Maybe emotionally. With how fucking cute you are all the time. He's so cute. I'm not. Dude, Knives, it's so weird because literally the day before this happened, I saw a reel on Instagram, and it was a reel of women like re-reeling or re-Instagramming or whatever the fucking term is. I'm old and I don't know. Their videos, all of the women had one eye. And it was all of them, it was like, send this to someone who lost their eye due to a chopsticks accident. And then it would flash down and it would be another woman that had one eye. And it'd be like, send this to someone who lost an eye while eating soup. Flash to the next person. And the person who lost their eye due to eating soup would then say another thing. But you never got the full fucking story. And it's gonna haunt me. Like, how do you lose your eye eating soup? Like, the chopsticks, sure, I can get there imaginatively. Soup? The world wants me dead. It's like I don't even internet. I know. I'm a lurker of the internet. I don't participate as much as I should. Like, this is my participation. I feel like being live for 6 to 7 hours a day is good. Like, that's plenty. It's more than most. So I don't really participate in the rest of it because it feels kind of exhausting. And I also have this problem with, like, people that care or want to hang out 6 hours a day, they don't want to see any more of me. So why the fuck would I post anything? So I just tend to not. I kind of fall by the wayside, and then I'm like, all right, like, I'm not kidding you. I got an email the other day saying someone sent me a Snapchat. Do you want to know the last time I had Snapchat on my phone? 2 phones ago. 2 phones ago. That's how long it's been since I've had Snapchat downloaded. And someone out there sending me Snapchats like I'm on it, and I'm feeling kind of like a dick now. Just am bad at it, man. I had someone ask if Zelda was a Greyhound the other day because we didn't give her that poof. I'm telling you, doesn't she? It's the angle. It's the face. They're so, like, pointy and angular. Maybe fall on the spoon? Hot soup in your eye? I think of, the only thing that comes to mind is that fucking movie, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, where he takes the chick on a date who's narcoleptic, and she's like, I've always wanted to try soup. And he's tied her hair to, like, a fixture behind her so she can't drown in the soup because she falls asleep. Like, that's all I got. I just don't understand how you lose an eye to soup. But there was, every single thing was, like, a weird, you know, vague thing like that. And I was like, okay, but you have to, like, tell me. Like, soup. What? Eating soup with a spork and, oh my god, an unfortunate sneeze. That's kind of what I was thinking happened with the chopsticks. There I was, unaware of the eye snatching soup. There I was, minding my own business, completely unawares of the eye snatching soup before me. Its scent tantalizing. You know what? Oh my god, Viata, get this. I haven't had Snapchat since before I met Vissy. That's how long I haven't had Snapchat. And it was just because it's just dick. Like, I got nothing but dick. Weird dick, full body nude dick, flaccid dick, any dick, outie dick, sideways dick, turned in a snail dick. Dicks with questionable infections and fluids. Dicks. I was so tired. It's just way too easy of a place to just... It's too easy to send a dick. And, like, I'm gonna be honest, vast majority of y'all got something going on, and I just don't have the energy to tell you. Get yourself checked out. Cheers, Robo. John, honestly, I started thinking that with some of the stories. I was like, maybe the soup was just there. Snapchat's like, we trying to fuck app, right? I mean, it's like, I used to use it all the time before Instagram and shit was even a big, I mean, literally, I used to use it when I worked at the hospital. If anybody was here when I was streaming and working as a respiratory therapist at the same time, I would Snapchat myself in the halls and stuff singing songs. Never any patient or anything. Like, I can attest to that and swear on my soul. I would never. It was always private shit. I don't even take my phone into patient areas. But I used to Snapchat a lot back then when I was bored all night long. Katie's like, Ann Perkins, I'm not kidding. I diagnosed a melanoma today. It was benign. Could be that you're some sort of Gorgon and you'll catch your own reflection in the soup. Wouldn't that turn you just... Well, I mean, maybe you're a Gorgon of just, like, eyes. Enough dicks for a dictionary. No shit. No shit. That's actually real. I've seen... And it's crazy because back then when I was using Snapchat all the time, I was very clearly always in scrubs when I was Snapchatting with my little name tag on and everything. Like... And then people would send me their dicks and shit. And I just really wanted to have, like, a group conversation with all these randos and be like... Do you realize that I shove sharpened tubes up penises for money? Like, the amount of rancid dick that I have interacted with at this point in my life is asinine. I don't understand. Like, I think a lot of the reason I want to fuck people's brains and I figure their genitals out next is because bodies are medical to me. Like, I gotta get horny about this first, and then I'm like, okay, now it's hot. Because beyond that, I'm just thinking like, what size catheter would fit there? Flex to seal anyone. You know what I'm saying? It's just body parts at a certain point. Maybe a Campbell's board meeting for oh. I don't know what Snap was actually originally for, because it originally everything would disappear off of Snap, right? This is not a dare, but I've never gotten a dick pic over Snap. I only follow people I know, though. See, back when Snap, I mean, literally, I used it back when it like originated. It was like anyone could follow you, and you didn't have to follow them back, and they could see all of your snaps, and there was no restrictions on it or anything. And honestly, I didn't start getting dicks until I started streaming. Like, once I started actually making social media profiles, because this is just, I think, theory, allegedly, 99.9% of the dicks I'm sent are no one that even knows I have a Twitch or have ever been to my Twitch. It's literally people who just search for Snapchats, random ass Snapchat names of whatever gender they're into, and they just get off on the sending of the dick. I think the psychology of it, I don't understand. Dicks are great, man, but they're a lot more fun to play with than look at. That might be part of the deal. Like, people just say, hey, I've seen a lot of dicks. I mean, if they sent a message with it, I'm never going to diagnose over the internet, but I will tell you to go see a doctor if you need to, or if I think you might need to, because worst case scenario, you're told nothing's wrong and you go home and that's great. You know,
I'm going
evening,
to
David.
fuck you with Satan's cock.
Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving an A to swing so fucking long, little black dress. I appreciate you. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing is sexier than pure sober consent, and thank you. Wait, I'm recalling a story about someone swallowing a pair of scissors while using them to clean their teeth. I'm not shocked, I'm just disappointed. Good, David. Good. I've heard about that as well, Dawn. That they've looked into I think maybe a couple places have actually made it so if you send an unsolicited dick pic, it's a crime or something. How much gangrene is too much? I mean, that again wouldn't shock me. Is that fucked? I mean, I've seen a ton of things inhaled. It's illegal here in Scotland. Are you the only place that's done that, David? Do you know? I was guessing like embroidery scissors. Or like nail cutting scissors. You know those tiny little fucking pointless scissors you get in like a nail kit? Still insane. Don't do that. I think I don't know, the wildest thing I've ever seen inhaled was one of those files they use to like core out the root of your tooth if you're getting a root canal. They literally look like a needle. So if you just imagine a sewing needle like this long, but it's microscopically a file being inhaled. And yeah, this happened in the last 10 years, in which case it is the time of the dam, like the dental dam. They use like a dental dam, right? Like every time you get anything done, they have that big piece of rubber that goes across the back of your mouth and hooks on your teeth so that if they drop anything or, you know, tooth dust or anything, you're not inhaling it. It's not going into your lungs. For some reason, this dentist didn't use one of those, and they were using one of those tiny files to core out a tooth, and they dropped it, and the patient inhaled it, and they are like a microscopic needle, but also a file. So you think about this ridged, it's not a smooth thing. It's not something that's just going to come out. They inhaled it into a deep bronchial, and I shit you not, my mom CPT'd them inverted. So they put them on an inversion table, like a table where we can prone you, essentially, put your head down and your ass up like this. And my mom literally beat his back until he coughed it up. Literally minutes from going into surgery. I mean, it was like hours of beating his back and trying to get this thing out because it was just in the bronchial tubes. But that was probably one of the, because no one thought it was going to come out. I mean, a needle in your bronchial tubes. That was amazing. Oh, they don't use those anymore, really? See, I had, when I was 13, when the horse thing happened. That was the last root canal I had. I can't tell if my physical went well or bad. I have an appointment with an audiologist. My 6 months mam recheck and more lags rescheduled because they think my thyroid might be underperforming. Don't get old kids. It's bullshit. Dude, dying's the worst. I thought there was a bug. Albert Fish enjoyed putting sewing needles. Oh, yeah. He left them. It was his ball sack, and he left them all in there. I saw the x-rays of his body after he died. Just ball sack full of needles. Fucking wild. It's now like this rubber plastic all-in-one tube thing that sits in your mouth, opened, and sucks up liquid while isolating your teeth. Weird. That's creepy. It was small scissors. That is... What? He laughed? How? How? Like, physically, how do you laugh after you inhale scissors? Speaking of murderers, since you mentioned Albert Fish, and since we're talking about scissors in the back of the throat, I read one this morning, / last night, about a woman who shoved a crucifix down her daughter's throat because she thought her daughter was possessed by the devil. We have a mental health problem in this country, and we need to help people. That's all I'm going to say about that. I know. Oh, he laughed, and that's how he inhaled them. I thought you meant he inhaled them and then laughed about it, and I was like, but there's scissors in his throat. I know, David. I find them fascinating, though. It's my current thing, I guess. Actually, it's kind of been forever. I don't know, man. Like, real talk, psychologically speaking, I think I was just kind of set up for a life of being fascinated with death, having watched my father die in front of me when I was 7 years old. Like, just watching him slowly die and then actually physically watching him die one morning. I think I just was set up for a life of, like, death is interesting and not scary, and I'm just surrounded by it, so why not? I don't know. I've thought about it before, because I absolutely... I recognize it's not the norm, for lack of a better word. But the like, I'm reading a book. I was looking around me. I think it's in the kitchen, though. I'm reading a book right now, and I think it's called The Five. But it's a book that's all about, it's the background and the history of the women that Jack the Ripper killed. So it's not about Jack the Ripper. It's not about the necessarily ripping. It's about the women he killed and the history of their lives and how they ended up in an instance where they were able to be a victim. I think that's kind of fascinating. Oh, I'm reading a really good book right now that's kind of wizardy, though. You might be into it. What is it called? I just started it. Hold on, let's take a break. I have to pee really bad, and I can't think straight when I have to pee. It's terrible. I have to pee really bad, though. So let's take a quick break, and I'm going to go grab it. But it's a fantasy book with no murder yet. So, like... I think it's called The Five. I'm going to grab that one, too. Hold on. Let me go pee real quick. I'm going to grab the books. Hold on. Welcome back. Welcome back. Kind of forgot I was streaming for a minute. I was just jamming out to this song. Welcome back. I grabbed the book. So this is the book that's about Jack the Ripper victims. It is called The Five. I remembered it. It's called The Five. It's the untold lives of the women killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. Hallie. I just started it, but it's pretty good so far. I like the way she writes. She writes like story like about these. It's not like a historical like reading a history book. It's written kind of like she writes like the story of their lives, but it's the factual what we know about their lives and shit like that. And it's really interesting. And then the fantasy book that I'm reading that's not about murder is called The One Dark Window, which I have no idea what it's called that so far, but it's a really cool concept. So it's this world is like kind of like a dystopian, a little bit medieval-ish. It sounds like kind of world-esque where there's still like royal families and shit. And there's a virus that plagues the land in the form of a mist. And if you get stuck in the mist, you get infected with this virus, and it sends like this black nastiness through your veins that everybody can see. And if you get better from the illness that you get from the mist, oftentimes you end up with magical powers, but they tend to drive you crazy, or you just like wither and die within 10 years of getting them. So people just murder the people that get stuck in the mist. And the book, within the first like few pages, you learn that you're following a character whose family protected her. So she got infected by the virus, and her family hid her and like sent her away to another family to get better from it. And they just like they've been watching her whole life to see if she has a magical power, but she hasn't really expressed one that they know of, but you know about it. And it's fucking crazy. It's really cool though. So far. And you find out like her dad was the captain of like the police that go out and find kids that have been infected and kill them. And he's not anymore. I don't know why. I'm literally just into it. I just started 2 new books because I'm crazy and I usually have more than one going at a time. But that one's on Kindle. This one, I don't know if it's on Kindle or not. I got this at a bookstore in Seattle. It's good though. I like the way she writes. And I'm more interested in that, or like the psychology of how a murderer grew up. Like we still don't know who Jack the Ripper was, or if Jack the Ripper was even one person. Historically speaking, there's lots of theories out there, but no one really knows. So you can't really definitively say like this was how that person was raised and what created the monster that turned into Jack the Ripper. That's what I'm more interested in, is the psychology of that. Not necessarily, I mean, the murders have sometimes absolutely reflect the psychology of that person, but there's only so much you can really learn about that, and then it's like, okay, it's just sad mutilation of someone, of a human, you know? See, she's not crazy. I think we're like in our 20s. Because she talks about years ago when she was 17 flirting with some boy. I don't know. It's pretty good though so far. It's like fast reading. Fantasy's really hard for me because fantasy can be really slow, and it can be very like exposition horny. I don't know how to put that. You know, like going on and on and on about shit that just has no relevance to the story at all. It just feels a lot like filler. A lot of fantasy does that, and I want the fantasy. Like, I'm reading a fantasy book because I want every fucking inch of it to be just seeped in fantasy. Like, give me the fantasy. Fantasy light doesn't really do it for me. And I feel like a lot of fantasy does that. So build me a fantasy world. But like, I'm thinking of a book. What did I read recently? Hold on. I think, did I return it? Oh, What Moves the Dead. I think I told you guys I was reading that one. What Moves the Dead. It was like a kind of a retelling of the House of Usher in a different way. And it was okay, but like it was a really short book. I mean, how long was it? How many pages are you? It's only 166 pages. It's a really, really short book. And with the first like 3 chapters, they were just establishing, I mean, literally different pronouns. So there was like 2 chapters about this person's internal dialogue about how they're in the military. And if you're in the military, your pronoun is ka. It's not he or she or they. And then there's one other pronoun I can't even remember anymore. It's weird that I remember ka. But for a book that's so short, and there's only one character in it that's a member of the military, and they literally use that pronoun 5 times, maybe ever referring to this person, it felt like a lot of bullshittery filler that was pointless. I was there for the fantasy and the story, and they were like building up for like a 166 page like mini storybook, like a, you know, a short story if anything. It just, that kind of shit, I'll start skipping. Like I can feel, I know I'm doing it. I start to skim, and I start to skim until I can see where it starts to get interesting again. I just like that. It felt superfluous, I guess. And I notice a lot of books do that. Or they'll go like, trying to think. I haven't read fantasy. That was one of the first I've read in a long time. I'm trying to think of another one I read. Or this one, I actually kind of gave up on reading it, and I felt a little bad. I can't read George R. R. Martin. I've never read him. I can't do it. It's so slow. I tried getting through this one. I got halfway through before I gave up. It's called I think it's just Hell House. Hell House, a novel. And I got exactly 50% of the way through before I literally looked on my Kindle app and I was like, I'm 50% of the way through of a horror novel and there has yet to be any horror. I'm out. Like, I can't believe I made it that far. I was really pushing because I just wasn't able to find any good books. And I was pushing myself so hard to get through it. And it was just so much internal dialogue of people being snooty Victorian style people in a big house that's allegedly haunted, but like nothing. The most that happened in the first 50% is I feel eyes on me in a dark room. Oh. Oh. Are you kidding? You remember that book I told you guys about, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix? Within the first chapter, it's a house full of haunted, alive puppets, handmade puppets. And in the first 50%, I feel eyes on me in the dark. Get out. I don't know. There's a lot of different, like, famous haunted houses in America where they call them, like, hell houses or something. I think, is the one you're thinking about the one that's in California? I think it's in LA or something, and it was in American Horror Story? I did not hear she picked her VP. I've been staying away from politics. It's very dark. It's a very dark time. It wasn't a clown cemetery. I wish. It was so crazy. I don't want to spoil it if anybody wants to read it. Like, I never tell you anything that's not within the first chapter of a book. Ever. Ever. That doll shit is within the first chapter. Like, it's called How to Sell a Haunted House. Puppets. It's all puppets. Just scary, lightning fast puppets wielding knives. It's just so fucking scary. It's so fucking scary. I hate it so much. But it was a good book. Grady Hendrix is great. Another really good one by Grady Hendrix. I have it behind me. My Best Friend's Exorcism. I saw on like, oh God, what was it? Prime or some shit? Oh no, it's fine, Crispy. It's fine. We've been trying to harbor like a safe space free of politics for people that want to come hang and not be in the darkness of it all, because like there's so few lights in it. But no, you're fine. It's not purge worthy. It's not that bad. I didn't know, and now I'm gonna look up. Don't worry about it. My Best Friend's Exorcism, that's what I was saying. So I saw they made a movie out of it. I have not seen it. Please don't just search out the movie if you're interested in it. The book is so fucking grotesque and well written. Grady Hendrix is a master of nasty. I don't know, dude. Everything they've written has just been great. Gary, Indiana? Oh, I have no idea about that one. I have a book about a farm. I have a book. Oh God, hold on. I know where it is. Hell's Princess. It was here all along. I moved it. This one I believe took place in Indiana. It's really gross. Another, historical murder novel, whatever, but really interesting. It's about a lady named Belle Gunnis who had a big pig farm in Indiana, and she would put these personals in newspapers, and she would present herself as a independently wealthy woman with lots of land and a farm that needs to be run, and she was beautiful and she was young and she had no children and she needed someone to help run the farm. And these men from like Sweden and Denmark and all these random places all over the world would like somehow, I don't know if she was posting them in newspapers there or whatever, they would find it, and they would be like these men who were widows or something or ex-military. They would sell everything they have, bring all their money and everything they had to her house. They would live happily for like 2 weeks and then they would disappear. And she would be like, they ran off on me. They done runned off. And then she'd do it again and again and again and again and again. And I bet you can guess what she was doing with her pig farm. She also like killed her kids. She had a couple daughters and they found their bodies in the pig farms too because quote unquote they were too pretty. Yeah. This one, Hell's Princess. She's been pretty, like, I think people have covered her a few times because there's a caveat to the end of it, which is pretty fascinating. So, like, I think it was about they were going to figure her out. They were going to find her out or something. Someone was on her tail for something. She allegedly burned her house down with her and her children in it. But when they pulled the bodies from the fire, the adult woman body was missing its head. So they could never 100% identify if it was actually Belle or not. And allegedly the skeleton like wasn't right. Like there was something about it that didn't match hers. Like not the right breaks in the right place of bones or something like that, historically speaking, with the doctor or something like that. So allegedly Belle Gunness like beheaded her housemaid or something and left, and like she's still out there probably. Yeah. Or like this is, what year did this happen? I don't even remember. I read this a while ago, but allegedly she could totally be there. 1902. So yeah, she's dead, but like she could have had babies and shit. It's really interesting, honestly. It's another one that's kind of told like a story of her life, but so one man that comes to her farm, she doesn't start a relationship with. She actually hires them on as a hired hand, and that's the person who like I think she fires him or something. They get in an argument. She fires him one day and he goes to town and is like, I've been burying trunks of belongings and clothes of men for years. And that's why the cops were going to go out there. And that's when she burned her shit down. Like, allegedly, it's not her. I don't know. Really good book. Those ones, I don't know. It's like historical fiction that's just like fascinating. Aqua Tofana. Read about Aqua Tofana. Aqua Tofana. Aqua Tofana, no shit, was a cosmetics line that this lovely woman created and established, and women of all ages and ills and likes would come to her for cosmetics, and then they would put those cosmetics in their husband's soup and it would kill them. Because Aqua Tofana was arsenic. But she was like, I'll fix your nasty relationship. Come buy my face cream, Aqua Tofana. And I think she went to jail and died, though. But, like, allegedly her daughter went on with the business and just named it something else. I mean, same. She did in a way. She did. What up, Sorolin? Good morning. Or evening. Aqua Tofana is fucking wild. Those ones, like, I think women murderers, serial killers fascinate me the most because they're the most creative, I find. I think I might think about murder too often. Whoopsie daisy. I think it's fascinating to me because I truly can't wrap my head around purposefully trying to hurt someone, let alone kill them. And the psychology of it is wild. Like, especially in cases where it's like Belle Gunness or women from historical times where it's like, part of me, I can identify with their desperation. Because there was a time and a space where, like, if you weren't a hot piece of ass that was young and perfect and had some money, and you didn't get married young and hot and ass-like, you were fucked. You ended up in the poorhouse, you ended up as a hooker, you ended up living on the streets and you died. Like, that was it. If your family couldn't afford to keep you, you know? I can see, I can empathize with the desperation, but big wow on how far the desperation went to murdering. Because these men would bring all of their money and everything. Like, technically, she could have just married the first one that showed up, used their money to set up a farm, and actually had a successful life and been fine. It's not like she stole all their belongings and money and, like, lived an elaborate lifestyle. It was kind of like she liked doing what she did. And eventually, family members would, like, you know, contact her from, like, Norway or wherever the fuck these men were coming from. It was always somewhere north, because I think she was Norwegian or something. So she was looking for a man of the motherland or something like that. And they would contact her and she'd be like, oh, they deserted me. They found some hot young thing and just left all of their belongings here. And no shit, when they searched that house, they found like hundreds of trunks of different men's belongings and shit. It's wild. And they found so many different body parts in the pig farm, like buried and masticated and shit. And considering what pigs do, they still have no idea how many men she killed. I think it was like in the 60s or something. It's insane. Oh my god, was Aqua Tofana owned by Gwyneth Paltrow? You know what's crazy is she has that whole goop thing. And man, does she know she's a joke? And that we're all out here making jokes about steaming our pussies and whatnot? It was, I want to, hold on. It was a northern country up there. I want to, wow, just listen to this description of the book. It's actually pretty good. In the pantheon of serial killers, Belle Gunness stands alone. She was the rarest of female psychopaths, a woman who engaged in wholesale slaughter, partly out of greed, but mostly for the joy of it. Between 1902 and 1908, she lured a succession of unsuspecting victims to her Indiana murder farm, not murder house. Some were hired hands, others were well-to-do bachelors. All of them vanished without a trace. When their bodies were dug up, they hadn't merely been poisoned like victims of other female killers. They'd been butchered. Hell's Princess is a riveting blah, 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 blah. She's from a northern, like, I just can't remember the exact country. I haven't read this for a few years, so I was trying to figure out where she's from. I should say it in the early. Say it. Say Belle Gunness from... That's not it. David. Well, she killed people from where she's from. It was Norwegians. Holy shit. Yeah, it was Norway. I remembered correctly, which is crazy because I haven't read this in years. Yeah, it was Norway. Yeah. And she would literally like write these like, what are they called? Like, singles, what are they fucking, singles ads? Singles ads? Or whatever the fuck they're called. I'm just blanking on it. She would write those in the papers of that country, and then those men would come to America, and then she would slaughter them. So she was kind of killing her own people, which is wild. Wait, which hoe is rich? The ingenuity, I don't admire any of it. I just, I can see, I empathize with the desperation. Like, I can't say I would have made better choices in a state of, like, say I have a pig farm, my husband dies, or I killed him. I don't fucking remember what happens there. And I have 2 daughters to raise, and I'm a woman of that era where you're kind of not allowed to own anything. You can't really make a living for yourself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, people do crazy shit. Doesn't excuse what she did. Like, murdering is that, like, whoa. But, like, I don't know. What would you do? Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow? Yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot we were still talking about goop. I know, she is. She's rolling, dude. I'm thinking of a scary plantation owner woman in La Rosa that used to fuck her slaves. Oh, oh my god. Yeah. She, not just that, she used their blood as like a cosmetic on her skin and shit, didn't she? If we're thinking about the same one, David. Like, there's actually an instance of her putting the head of a cow on one of them as a punishment and making them walk around with a cow's, like a dead cow head on their head or some shit. Oh my God. I know the one you're talking about, and I cannot fucking remember. Yeah, she was nasty. I think she was like taken to court and shit for what she did. Because like, even though people were like, "Yay slavery," they weren't about what she was doing. Like that, even people that were like, "Yay slavery," were like, "That's too much. Stop it." Yes, yep. There's that one. There's a couple different ones. So no shit. I read a book about what's her name? Bathory. And there was like rumors that she bathed in blood. Bathory, I think she was Transylvania or Romania or something like that. And like none of that was real, I don't think. From what I've read, like there was quite literally zero evidence of anything anyone ever accused her of other than like treating young girls kind of shittily. Like they would they would say they would house young girls and teach them how to be ladies of a manor or whatever, and she was kind of a bitch. But other than that, like they claimed that she like murdered these girls and tortured them and peeled their toenails off for fun and shit and bathed in her blood. They have like zero fuck. Yeah, it was a political hit job, exactly. Like, I think she didn't have any family left. I think her parents died. So she was the only person that was head of this household. I think she had a husband, maybe. I cannot remember. I haven't read it for a bit. But essentially, when people started, being like, my daughter didn't come back a lady, then the other politicians were like, let's do this girl in. She bathes in your daughter's blood. And everybody was like, yeah, she totally bathes in blood. That's why she's young and shit. So they locked her in her house forever. Like, they couldn't put her in jail because she was a royal or something. She was the last of a royal family or some shit. So they couldn't put her in a prison. So they made her home a prison. And she just never left. But, like, I don't really think she did any of that. What up, Taco? How are you, love? It really did feel like a political hit job. I think it was. Was that the American Horror Story based the Witches season on? The lady who tortured her slaves? I believe so. Part of it. I cannot remember her name, though. I think, was she played by Kathy Bates? Is that the same one? I think it's like, it's on the tip of my ass. But her character was based on a true story. Obviously not 100% because like witchcraft and shit and like stuff. But like, it was based on a real person who actually did horrific things to their slaves. Like horrific. I mean, slavery's horrific to begin with. Holy shit. Imagine, I haven't even read a book about that shit. Because it's really, anything you read about Lalaurie or whatever, La Mama, Lalaurie, oh, it's right on the tip of my ass, man. It's gonna come to me when I'm sleeping tonight or something. But like it's just all about what she did to her slaves, and like that's just human butchery. And that's every show, David. It's literally every show. It's every day of my life and the older I get, the more of it's like, oh my God, how long ago? Oh my God. No, it's something, it's like, it is law something. You're on it. It's Lalaurie. Is that in the middle? Is it Lalaurie? Is it really Skew? Madame Lalaurie. Lalaurie. Delphine Lalaurie. Wow, I was so much closer than I thought I was. I was really mumbling out that middle part, but I was pretty close. Thank you. No shit. I mean, the more life you live, the more your memories just kind of start to run together. There's just chunks of boring to life moments that are just gone for me. They truly are. I had that weird thought this morning, Trouble. I don't know. I was listening to a Bailey Sarian. I'm trying to get this short by Tom Cardy to load, and YouTube shorts are loading funny. And she was like, it was her show from yesterday. She's like, it's a Monday, which means it's murder, makeup, and Monday. She tells murder stories. I know. I listen to a lot of murder. That's what I literally listened to before stream today. I won't tell you about that one. Cannibalism. But I was like, wow, Monday. Like, it's so rare that I even think about what day of the week it is. It's only by coincidence or something. Yep, Google Foo. Female slave owner horror story. Boom. Madame Delphine Lalaurie. She was fucked up. The only reason I learned about her because of Ghost Adventures, I mean, she is a real person that existed. Obviously, like, a lot of it's exaggerated and we don't know exactly the specifics of what they did, but they did find her torture chamber up there and she had journals and shit. What up, Yeet? How are you, love? Lalaurie didn't sexually abuse her slaves. She just physically tortured her slaves to the point where other slave owners were like, that's fucked up, yo. Yeah. Which, like, when people that are willing to own slaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all fucked up. But big wow. Big fucking wow. She was nasty. Big nasty. Cheers to not her. Or any of that. Dude, same, Crispy. You ever get irritated when you watch someone try to Google something? And you're like, why don't you just type blonde pickle baron Sweden? And they're like sitting there like, oh, but her name's like Savannah Schnamam. And I'm like, stop it. Just Google Swedish pickle baron. It'll come up. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Stop. And it's like 15 minutes later, they go by and they're like, yeah, I can't remember her name. I'm just gonna. And you're like, you know what I'm saying? Zach. Cheers. There went my lighter. I know. It's pretty crazy. Like, we were talking about that the other day, Skew. Like, it's wild how the more we have available to us, the more people choose to not see it and to be, like, just stupid. I think it's got to be an overwhelming amount of information, so they just shut down. My dad will text me things I don't even know just so I'll Google it for him. Oh my God, that's precious. It's because you've got the Google foo. I totally get it. You've got the Google foo. I'm sure other IT folks here will agree. Google foo is a treasure skill we have. It's real. A good Google fooer is fantastic. I mean, seriously, there have been things. You guys have the power. There have been moments in our channel where I've been like, all right, guys, I had a fever dream last night about a game I played when I was like 9. And I think you play like a mom and maybe her princess, and it's like a point and click adventure. And at one point, there's like a tree house made out of a pumpkin. And I'm not kidding. You guys were like, King's Quest? And I was like, what? Do you know how long I've searched for the title of this fever dream game that I played when I was 10 and I just never beat because it was impossible to beat? We beat it on stream, don't worry. We did it together. But like, right? Once someone mentioned it, I was like, oh shit, the desert. Like playing as the mom and going through the desert. And it's one of those unforgiving games where you take a wrong turn and you're done. You just got to go back to your save. It was like the dawn of saves coming. Saves coming. That was one of those. And all I could remember though was that pumpkin tree house. Because of course my little goth brain as a child, I was like, ooh, cool. Was that 7? I know shit was going to say 7, but part of me was like, is it 5? I couldn't remember. But 7, yeah. Great game. Infuriating though. Like playing it on stream, we literally pulled up a walkthrough because I was like, I'm not wasting 97 hours dying a million times. Let's just do this together. But as a child, I totally beat that, which is insane. It's like when people say, I know how to get there, and I'm like, can you just ask Google? Yeah. I mean, no shit. Sometimes I'll literally Google map something before someone's like, oh, don't worry, I know how to get there. I'm like, oh, is it this way? And they're like, huh. No, that's shorter. We should do that. And I'm like, why do you make life hard? Sierra Games. Yes, dude. Fucking Sierra Games, man. That brings me back. My wife works for the local city park and rec and had someone, that's amazing. Park and rec, it's incredible. And had someone email her. The address is only on the website at the bottom, asking what the pool hours were. She just copied the URL from the website and sent it. That's excellent. That's excellent elegance. They gave birth to the phrases save early, save often. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, the Perils of Rosella. Yep. Great. I mean, literally, that was like that was some of the very first games I ever played. Was like those kind of point and click adventures that were just unforgiving. And it's wild to think that, I mean, as a 9, 10-year-old, I beat those games. I did it by myself in a basement without the internet, no Google, like just did it. And now as an adult, I can have like 100 people in chat and Google and still not beat a game well. Like I've become so dumb. Wait, a thought for us. Notice how humans are attached to our phones right now. This is how we are in a simulation. Because we're so obsessed with them, why are our phones never in our dreams? I fucking hate my phone. I don't know where it is right now. I would imagine our phones are not in our dreams because we can't read in our dreams. And like the vast majority of what we experience on our phones is reading, but I don't know. I know, I'm a freak. I actually have the opposite problem. Like, as opposed to being addicted to my phone, I have like anxious avoidance of my phone. Because 9 times out of 10, it's like, guess who died today? Want to know some terrible news? The world's on fire. Like, I've just become so, my phone is just bad news. It's so rarely something good news at this point. That's where I've gotten with that one, unfortunately. People call me in my dreams, and it sucks there, too. That's fucking unfortunate. Yeah, they're working on new games. Shut the fuck up. Really? Parks and Rec, the show, is very true to her actual job dealing with Citizen. One person accused Parks and Rec of creating a hole in her fence and then unleashing skunks into the park for the sole purpose of having said skunks invade only her yard. That's a really epic reach. Like, holy shit. What? That's straight out of the show. I mean, not verbatim, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something out of a fucking show. That's incredible. I've never had a dream where if I remember where I'm wearing shoes. I never have a dream where I remember if I'm wearing anything unless, like, the dream, it's specific. I'm now not wearing pants. Like, I don't think I've ever remembered the clothes I'm wearing unless, like, it's apparent I'm naked. And then I'm like, fuck. But I don't think I've ever even noticed the clothes in my dream. A lot of my dreams, like, I don't even think I'm a person in them. I think I'm, like, a fly on the wall observing things. It's weird. Like, I'll have weird fisheye lenses for a lot of my dreams. Or, like, people in the room won't acknowledge I'm there when I'm there. Kind of thing. Like, I'm just kind of watching. It's weird. It's very weird. Not a lot of participatory. It's more like just... Or, like, I have these reoccurring dreams. These are the weirdest. It's not a reoccurring dream. It's the dream always takes place in the same house. It's like I'm visiting the same place. Different things happen every time. But it's like an overblown version of a house I lived in when I was, like, 12-ish. Like, 12 to 14. We lived in a house. And it's that house specifically. But it's, like, it's almost as big as it would be if you were a little kid in that house. So everything's just a little bit taller, a little bit wider than it should be. And it's, like, dilapidated and looks like the house from, like, House on Haunted Hill, the show series or whatever. Like, functional, not dilapidated, haunted, disgusting, rotted. There's not, like, a hospital in the basement or anything like that. But it just looks, like, old and grayed out and very dingy and everything like that. And I keep expecting to see ghosts. It's so weird. And once in a while, like, a dead family member will be hanging out, like, in the kitchen of this house. But it'll be like, everybody's there, like, it's normal. And I'm like, Nana's not alive. Why is no one else? But Nana's right. Like, no one's going to say anything. Cool. We're just going to sick. Nana's cool. Like, that happens. But it's the same fucking layout, same house. And it's been happening, I got 20 years. Since I was in high school, at least. Which wasn't 20 years ago. But at least since I was in high school, if not younger. It's almost like telling us, it's like trying to interpret the story. Yeah. But it always picks that one house, which is interesting because we moved a lot as a kid. I lived in so many different houses. It's odd that it's always that one and just kind of like blown out of proportion a little bit bigger than it should be. No shit, David. I've had multiple dreams where it's like, at first it's first person. And then for some reason, I realize the person I'm talking to isn't really in front of me anymore. And I look and I realize it's me talking to that person and I'm not really there anymore, but I'm like a fly on the wall watching it now. But I was participating in it like like a millisecond ago because dreams are like 5 minutes. Nothing, honestly, you know what I think it is? That house was like the last peaceful place. Like that was before anything bad happened, I think. I don't know. It's like it was like the last sanctuary. I don't know if for some reason like my brain imprinted on that house. Like that was the last house where like I had my own room and it was normal and I just went to school and I don't remember anything like terrible yet. Clown cemetery, no. Cemetery, possibly. It was like an older Victorian home. But like, I don't know if clowns have ever been a big, I mean, I can't say no. I did hear squeaks in the night. I get a lot of dreams where jerks, as if I'm getting hit kind of thing. Ugh. Oh, the body jerk. I fucking hate that. Like the falling. You feel like you're falling and you do that weird. Yeah. There's a word for that. And I can't remember what it is, and something causes it. Man, I worked at a sleep clinic so long ago, it doesn't even matter anymore. But at one point, oh my god, YouTube finally is loading. The short loaded. It was loading only half of the play screen, and like on the other side, it's fine. Myoclonic. Is that literally what it is when you have a weird twitch? Is it just a muscle spasm? Like, why is it always the falling sensation? That's the part that's weird to me. It could be very thick cut ham. I understand. Like it depends on how dastardly you enjoy your ham. I just didn't want that to sound dirty, and I think it did. But I didn't do it on purpose, so... I was trying to pull up. I thought there was a new charismatic voice that I missed yesterday. Hold on. Man, I hate this fucking computer. Keyboard? Keyboard. I mean, like, there's places in the US where you can go to a deli and you can ask to get meat cut, right? And they'll cut it as thick as you want. So, like, maybe it's a stack? Or maybe he was like, I need a good 3 inches of ham in the shape of a cutlet. I don't know. Okay, so there is. She reacts to Avenged Sevenfold's Nightmare. When did that song come out? Hold on. He could have bought a big slab and cut it himself. Although I learned recently, ham is like super, super expensive. The story on the shit skirt? Okay, no shit. I mean, it was photos. It was like a set of photos that someone posted. I'm assuming the OP posted on Reddit. But they basically filled up condoms as much as they possibly could with shit and then froze it and then like tied it into a skirt, kind of like a Xena skirt or like an Athenian kind of skirt, you know, where it's like the different plats of leather, but instead it was like sausages of poo. But then he would like lay out on his side sexy like, and there'd be different shaped ones on display in front of him, and some of them were like football shaped, and some were like a ball shaped, and some were long. Like it was so much. It was a lot. There was no description. There was nothing. It was just these photos. And I was a reckless Redditor back in the day. I would just click, if your link was a short title, me. I just clicked everything, and man, was that a mistake. It was a lot, and I'm pretty sure at one point he did make love to some of the frozen condoms of shit. I don't know if it's making love or just reintroducing them to their maker. Yes. That's... And the post was like in Polish or something. That's the only reason I say Eastern European. Like, it was an Eastern European post. But that's it. If they twirled hard enough, it turned into a... Oh my god. A lethal grenade. Fucking shit NATO. Imagine their, like, Sailor Scout transformation. Hi! Spin, spin, spin. Just like, pew, pew. Ah! Who would it be? Would it be like one man, one jar, shit skirt, coconut? Would it be the coconut or the person? And thus the Golgothan was born.
Now, I'm going to fuck you with Satan's cock.
Yep. In the name of booty, I shall punish you.
Whoop whoop, bitch. Get out. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the classy live, and giving it nameless its wings. Please go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent. Hail the dankest of lords.
Shit person meets up with condom. Oh, condom wall. Forgot about condom wall, girl. Got that. Recruit coconut fucker and Mr. Hands to take on, like, tub girl. Mr. Hands dead. But, like, I guess maybe if he's an Avenger, he's not actually dead. That's 9. Holy shit.
99 months. What's happened?
I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
Speaking, holy shit.
Free juice, how are we still around? Thank you so much. I just realized. Holy crap on a crumble. That's a very long time.
I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
David, did I? Bitch. Did I? I mean, come on. That being said, Clone a Willy is like a psychological trauma. There's not really photo evidence of any of that. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god, they revive him. Stop it. It's like a Ghost Rider situation. They revive Mr. Hands and he just comes in on a flaming horse. Comes in, get it? Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Ooh! Under a flaming horse. Hell! Holy shit, what if Mr. Hands just metaphysically became like what are they called? Anglerfish? So anglerfish, if you've never seen an anglerfish, they're like these giant, I mean, they can be pretty big, but they're like this bulbous, you've probably seen one, they're like a deep ocean fish, and they've got this big open mouth with all these nasty teeth. So basically their mouth never closes, but they usually have the little dangle doob coming off of their head with the little glowy, and they're like, come little children, the time's come to, you know what I'm saying? So that's an anglerfish. So that's a female anglerfish. Have you ever seen that image? Female. Male anglerfish. So like if this, okay, perfect. If this is a female anglerfish, then like this is the male anglerfish fully grown. And essentially when the female and the male become sexually active, the male swims up, bites the ass of the female. Their skins do like a human centipede kind of thing, and they become one creature, and the male essentially dissolves into just a functioning pair of gonads. So then the female just swims around, and she can just self-inseminate whenever she fucking feels like it. So, like Mr. Hands maybe just... I'm sorry I've done this to you. Totro's filthy now. Yes, oh my god, of an anglerfish? Have you never seen an anglerfish? Yes, one moment. Or Google gives up in that moment. Oh god, they're so cute. Anglerfish. They're fabulous. So like, these are not real. That's real. That's the one from Finding Nemo. So that's a female. Like if you see these big fuckers, that's a pretty cool one. If I pick it up though, you can't see it because it blows up behind my face. Unfortunately, I have to fix this layout. But like they come in kind of, but they're all like deep sea, blind, basically crazy looking monsters. I did a watercolor one of years and years and years ago. Obviously kind of fantastical. But yeah, they're really kind of neat, just horrible monsters. But the male looks like that. And see, there we go. So if I could just pull that up so you guys could see it, that'd be great, internet. Oh, look, yay, Twitter. Okay, so female, that's how big the male is. And he literally just like suckles onto a teat and then they meld together as one and he becomes a nutsack. And like when she's feeling like, I think I want to have a baby, she somehow gets cum out of him and they babies. It's wild. But like, so if you just picture it as a horse and Mr. Hands, how did we get here? I feel like I need to show you a video. One moment. This is seriously, the fucking like blindness is off the charts. Like how come it's the amount of times you guys are like, Katie, just look at the screen. And I'm like, where? All I see is possums, eels, bees, and shrimps. And it's like literally the thing in between all of those things. It's unbelievable. How are you, Mayo, my love? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Truly, I worry. It's crazy. I mean, it's the same with my desk. It's the reason I try not to keep my desk too cluttered because something could be literally right in front of me and I won't see it. And it's like your brain just sees everything on the desk and gets overwhelmed and it cannot see the thing you want to see. And it's the same when I look at shit like this. Like I'm like, I don't know. It's dumb. Brains are stupid. Fascinating, but stupid. Quick break. Stretch your dicks. Do what you need to do. Pee. I have to pee. My dogs have to shit or something. I'll be right back. I got an upgrade. 5 on my bad. I mean, seriously, they were made so fucking long ago. Did my monitor? They were made so long ago, I don't remember. I might have to I'm gonna make a note. I'll make a note, because they might have stopped there. I gotta make some more. Oh my god, where's the lighter? Dude, did you see someone edit it and put the, like, geometry symbols all over us? Like, the math symbols? It's pretty fucking great. What's today? Tuesday? It's already the 6th of August. Oh my god, it's in the Discord. I can't believe it's already the 6th. That's insane. Hold on, sub badges. It's in there. I cannot remember. I'm trying to think. Who made it? Was it Najeel did it? We made a joke about it and literally someone went and did it. It's pretty fucking great. If you find it, let me know. All right, we got Warm and Fuzzy. 72 months and it says, yeah, I need to do sub badges then. Man, no, thank you for bringing them to my attention, honestly. I have so many, like, emote spots and shit that I need to fill. It's really hard to make. Like, I've tried. There's a reason emote artists get paid what they deserve to be paid. It's so hard to make emotes actually, like, read an emote form on dark and light mode and look good. I've tried so hard to make emotes myself. I'm still teaching myself, but that's something I can add to it because that's easy. I have all the sub badges. I can literally dye them new colors and stuff. So I can do that. But we have Warm Fuzzy now. I was literally thinking to myself, I was out there with my dogs. I was like, man, what do you bet that the kitten snake, like, eats each other's poop or something? I feel like every animal, we go into it and we're like, this is going to be really cute, and it eats its own feces. Okay. Like, man, and it's a musk animal, and they all, like, if you've ever get a beverage, do what you need to do. I'd love to apologize. I don't know, man. That was pretty, it was, like, informative. I love Zafrank. I think Zafrank's fucking awesome. We have a couple of videos you guys gave me of shorts, but I have a video that I think actually Rage gave me like ages ago. But it's it's titled The Worst Animal. So come back in a few minutes if you want to know what the worst animal is. I don't know. We'll see. I wonder what the earth sounds like. Probably like garbage. Cute aggression has a whole new meaning in the ocean, right? Oh my god, you're right. It's like aggressive cute or something. No, cute aggression still works. It's just absolutely horrifying. On that note, it's about that time where I have to take my dogs for a walk, and I'm really afraid we're going to get more rain. We got so much rain yesterday, which is awesome, and we super needed it. But when we get, I mean, you guys know, I've bitched about it for so many years now. Like, do you like weather? Because Colorado. So, and I have to pee super bad. I've had to pee for like an hour. I just wanted to say, take your fucking joy. Drink water. Hydrate. Make sure you get a lot of electrolytes. Just because it's raining doesn't mean you're like don't need to drink lots of water. Like I've talked about it before, but the humidity can make it so you don't sweat. So just make sure to take care of yourself. Have fun at your concert tonight, dude. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Tomorrow I want to play more whoop ass or whatever it is before I forget the game. But that's it. Pee after sex. Be good to yourselves. Thanks for being nerds with animals with me today. Watch party tonight if you want to join. Love you guys. Bye. I gotta pee. So